Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Two taxi drivers shot, one fatal in St. Andrew. Two taxi operators were shot, one fatally, by unknown assailants at a Texaco gas station at the intersection of Mullins and Walton Park Roads in St. Andrew on Tuesday evening. The circumstances that led to the incident are still unclear. However, the police corporate communications unit confirmed the incident, adding that the second taxi operator turned up at hospital with gunshot wounds shortly after his colleague was pronounced dead. This is reportedly the 11th taxi operator gone down this year. Detectives from the St. Andrew Central Police Division are investigating the incident. In the meantime, Hector Newman, the president of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services TODS, said he is deeply saddened by the slaying of yet another taxi operator in the line of duty by cowardly gun-toting men. The continued slaying of our transport operators in this fashion cannot and should not be allowed to continue. A way needs to be found, and if this is not done with some degree of urgency, we are going to see transport operators die like dogs on the streets, as it would be very clear that no one cares, Newman said. Newman condemned the incident, calling it a dark day for the industry. He said TODS and its associate groups and individuals are calling on the Ministers of National Security and Transport to set with the sector to carve out some solution to this ongoing problem. Our condolences and sympathies to the families of our fallen brothers and colleagues. Join us on Wednesday, March 29 at 11 a.m. at the site of our fallen brother for a moment of silence. Our chaplain prophet, Rodel Rowe, and the team will visit the families with prayers and support, Newman stated. Newman urged all transport operators to be very conscious of their operational space and take nothing for granted. JTA says it cannot guarantee normalcy as salary issues persist. The Jamaica Teachers Association JTA has indicated that it cannot guarantee normality in the public school system on March 29. This as many teachers have been yet to receive their March salaries and retroactive payments due to abnormalities. Some teachers receive their salaries, but over 1,400 of them who have been anticipating their salary under the reconstructed compensation system will have to wait until possibly Friday to get their wages. Early yesterday, the Education Ministry stated that it's working with the relevant stakeholders to have the issues rectified and the teachers paid. However, the JTA said the situation has resulted in frustration among its members. It noted that the government should make provision to offset interest rate to be incurred on teachers' loans and other credit facilities. The JTA also expressed concern about the threat of repossession of items and the impact of the current situation on members' credit ratings. DPP to seek death penalty in Nikita Noel murder case. Director of Public Prosecution DPP Paula Llewellyn will be seeking the death penalty in the case of 9-year-old Nikita Noel, who was allegedly raped and murdered by her stepfather in Hanover. Omar Green is charged for the offenses of murder in the course or furtherance of rape and rape. The girl was killed on the afternoon of February 1, reportedly following an argument with the mother of the deceased and the accused. In a release, the office of the DPP said, having carefully considered the allegations and the public interest, it entered into some agreement with the Hanover court, thereby discontinuing the matter in the parish court, and shortly thereafter preferring a voluntary bail of indictment against Green in the Hanover Circuit Court. This means the case will continue in the Circuit Court. The DPP said Crown Counsel, on her instructions, also filed a death penalty notice in the Hanover Circuit Court. A copy of the notice was served on the accused when he made his appearance in court yesterday. The Offences Against the Person Act allow the death penalty to be applied in the cases of persons who are convicted for murder in the course or furtherance of rape. The Act also prescribes that the death penalty will be imposed unless prior notice is given to the accused person. As such, the DPP noted that it was deemed appropriate by her office for the death penalty notice to be prepared and served on the accused yesterday. She said this is to ensure that at the earliest opportunity, the accused is made aware of the intention of the prosecuting authority to make the recommendations that the death penalty is an option for the sentencing judge. The rape and murder of Nikita was investigated by the Hanover police. The accused has been granted legal aid and is being represented by attorney at law Albert Margon. He will appear in the court on Monday, July 3, 2023, at which time a psychiatric evaluation report is being submitted on his behalf. Health Ministry urges people displaying signs and symptoms of mpox to isolate and contact healthcare provider. The Health and Wellness Ministry is urging people who are displaying signs and symptoms of mpox to isolate and contact their health providers. The appeal following the confirmation of 2 additional mpox cases in the country. The latest cases are from Kingston and St. Andrew and were locally transmitted. Of the 21 cases of mpox recorded in the country since last year, 3 are active. Director of Public Promotion and Protection in the ministry, Dr. Simone Spence, is urging people to look out for the symptoms of the disease.
As a reminder, the spread of monkeypox may occur when a person comes in close contact with an infected individual. Person-to-person spread may occur through direct contact with monkeypox skin lesions or scabs, including sexual contact or close personal contact, contact with contaminated personal items such as clothing, bed linen, or towels used by an infected person, and respiratory droplets by way of coughing or sneezing of an individual with a monkeypox rash. Symptoms of mpox are usually mild to moderate and include fever, intense headache, swelling of the lymph nodes, back pain, muscle ache, and/or a rash on the skin. Members of the public who experience these warning signs must immediately isolate and call ahead to their health center or doctor before visiting.
Finance Minister refuses to apologize for Master Mark comment. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has refused to apologize for referring to opposition leader Mark Golding as Master Mark. He instead spent most of his response to the firestorm of criticism, attempting to justify his use of the term. Dr. Clark addressed the matter during yesterday's sitting of Parliament. He acknowledged that Mr. Golding had apologized for his offensive reference to Jamaica Labour Party JLP supporters. The minister then sought to downplay the impact of the Master Mark reference and its racial inference. He cited use of the term in other scenarios where a person's race, color, ethnicity was not in question. Dr. Clark also sought to explain that his use of the term master was in relation to power and control.
Madam Speaker, there are several Jamaican proverbs that make use of the word massa. Here are a few. Sleep have no massa, which means eventually sleep will overpower you. Massa has, massa grass, which is a proverb about power, control, and entitlement. Another one is patient dog, nyam in massa bone. With patience, you can rise above those who may have authority over you. Are we racist, Madam Speaker, or racially motivated when we invoke these Jamaican proverbs? No. In these proverbs, massa is used non-racially in relation to power and authority. Madam Speaker, despite political competition, Mark Golding and I have always, the opposition leader and I have always enjoyed a very productive relationship in this and the other house, and a warm and friendly one outside, inclusive of our wives. Some of the interpretations I have seen and listened to are inconsistent with that reality. The reasons are, Madam Speaker, speaking my truth, is that my remarks have been misconstrued, my motives have been misrepresented, and my intentions have been distorted. I regret that some persons may have viewed my remarks as racially motivated. To again be clear, that was never my intention. To apologize, however, Madam Speaker, would be to legitimize what simply is not true. The truth is that massa, in its modern usage, is applied non-racially. Massa Mark, as I used it, was not about race. Massa Mark, as I used it, was not about color. Massa is always about an attitude and style regarding power, and that is how I use the term to describe what I saw as disrespectful attitude and language.
DCP urges government to remove distractions facing the police so they can focus on nation building. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey has urged the government to remove all distractions facing the police so they can focus on the critical role they play in nation building. Speaking at the weekend, DCP said the police have demonstrated that they have the capacity, integrity, and commitment to tackle the crime problem facing the country. He noted the nexus between crime and development, while stressing that the work of the constable impacts every area of the society. DCP Bailey said there should be no distraction impacting the police as they carry out their work.
There can be no development in a high crime environment. And so the police, what we do, impact on every area of society, every individual, whether you're a student, a teacher, a business person, and even the family of a police officer. Our action or non-action impacts on you. So the police and the security forces play a critical role in nation building. And because of what we do, it is time sensitive. And so I put this to the minister, there should be no distraction, anything to distract the police from the tasks that they are committed to do. Those who are in the private sector will tell you that if you want a good business and you want your business to progress, the people that work must be properly taken care of. And I will not make any further comment on that. It is important that every distraction be removed so that we can focus on the task that we are committed to do.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share,